And good rise to you. That's not the morning anymore. We're doing it different nowadays. Welcome to the Blizzard. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? You heard? We're gonna start in 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying? But I'm kicking it on early, you know what I'm saying? Making sure all of my things are together, all my peoples, all my sounds is rocking, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get it all together, you know what I mean? And we're gonna roll like that. Stream Elements is in the building. Please click on to the like as soon as you come in, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna roll out 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes and we're gonna roll in.
Interesting conversation with Nelly.
Welcome.
And he was like when I lived in New York,
hold on,
I understand.
We're not gonna disrespect. Salute everybody. Hope you're welcome to the block right now. I'm saying you're in the building. Glad you're here. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me right now. Maybe your ears are. Welcome to the block repping, where we're repping the block, wherever block you are, whatever point of the map it is. You know what I'm saying? So today's topic, we're gonna keep it nice and concise. Hip Hopreneurs. Now, since the beginning of the stages of this culture of ours, yes, I definitely, declared as a culture, all because of the elements that are involved in it. Even though some aspects of this culture are more pronounced than others, right? More importantly, is the rap. The rap culture is definitely more pronounced in the U.S. and other Western countries, quote unquote, or Western-minded countries, because of the melodic messages behind rap, and that is one of the number one marketing tools on the planet. Hope you can agree with that, because that's definitely going to propel this conversation into where we're going to take it. And you're going to see everybody wanted their hands on this thing. Remember, when it first came out in its inception, it was considered a fad, something that wouldn't last more than 5 years, 10 years tops. But now what you have is, the culture of hip hop turning 50 years old. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. And being one of the major vehicles of major business for a very long time, which was great, great. Made billionaires out of this thing. But it also comes with some treachery too, unfortunately. And when we get into the basis of it, you'll see where I'm going with it, right? I don't actually want to start with the Sister Light right now. Let's go into the cam, right? In the cam, you're going to see some images flow in the background. I hope you're able to see them. And you're going to see, I would say, the fruits of the labor of hip hop. Because when you started with basically nothing. The shirt on your back, and sometimes you use that to clean off some of the equipment that you had. Or it was just too hot outside, you just took it off and you're jamming in the park all day, right? So hip hop is definitely a dirty job. I actually had this conversation earlier last week. I'm gonna try to step it up, but I've just been, really busy right now. You know what I'm saying? And especially when it comes to shows like this, you want to be able to tool up a good way. You know what I'm saying? Get the right information, talk to some people, get invigorated about it, and definitely, and put the pedal to the metal. So let me see, everything's running pretty good. Now, dig. In the inception of this is a dirty job. You're talking about people that would spray cans and galore crates. And crates was everywhere. Everybody had crates. Salute to the crates. Definitely. You're carrying these heavy, records. You're carrying this crazy equipment. There's grease all over the place. Steel objects. Sticking in your skin. You got mics. And, every MC either had one of those tape recorder, voice recorder things, with the little tape in it, or they had the a mic hooked up to, the audio system in mom's house, or you might have the big boom box, and you just had a recording part of it. You had the recording part of it. You was just on another level. We're coming to see you, and we're gonna rhyme. And usually that would be the hub of all activity. Whoever had that equipment that could put these ciphers down, right? And unfortunately, one of the messed up things, and I was talking to my partner about this too. My man, he's like, "Yo, we used to have a lot of tapes, man, but we even had the CDs, and when everything transitioned around, you so much into the routine, you kind of, you don't even have an apparatus to play this stuff on anymore. You know what I'm saying? And now everything has been shrink down to the size of your hand, to that mobile phone. And, if you're fortunate enough, you would have downloaded, your experience, and it's interesting. Downloading experiences is like, and this is the whole different vibe that I'm taking you on, metaphysical thing as well, but it all ties in. It it, it yeah, it's a convenience to it, but it also, you know, now you're dependent on these small devices. Now you're dependent on these small flash disks that carries ton of information, true, but once it gets compromised or damaged, it's a no win coming back. It's a no win coming back, and unfortunately, a lot of that stuff can get lost, and that's happened to me and a couple of my partners, you know. And shoot, is there somebody floating some graveyard shift and building blocks material out there? Please let a brother know. Please let him know. For real, because we need it. Now, where I've been, what I'm saying, they've been away for a minute. Like I said, getting reinvigorated, and um, had a couple of setbacks. You know what I'm saying? Apologies for. I had to apologize to myself first. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get swamped in this, and that's what happened in the beginning stages as well. And I say that to say that there's reasons why certain artists um, weren't business savvy enough to in the beginning to um, lock down certain deals and achieve a sense of security and in their financial being, even though they get easily recognized for their endeavors. Now, Cold Crush, Fearless for um, Funky for Plus One More, Us Girls, um, and the list goes on. So many others of those youth older than us, Coca Rock, just so many of them. Curtis Blow, can't forget him to shoot, and he's pivotal too, right? Because he's talking about one of the most successful MCs coming out of that ilk, you know. And then Crush Groove, hits for people that need to double back and realize what was going on. They they walked so others can run. They were part of the beginning struggle, and this is the foundation of everything that we do in the culture of hip hop, in the art form of hip hop, in the genre of hip hop and rap. This is the foundation of all that. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to go to the events if you can. You can see these people, revisit their work. It's unfortunate that we're not at liberty to always play their materials because of copyrights, and that's an interesting thing too. It's a super interesting thing because you can't revisit some of this work a certain way. A lot of stuff get lost in the source, and so now you'll have new artists, and salute to them, shouts to them all day that they were able to resurrect this stuff, you know, and you know, make a dollar for their families. You know what I'm saying? But that's the culture of hip hop improvisation and keeping the torch lit. But they're also not being financially kept well. I would say, and they're they deserve a lot more than what they have. So this is where hip hop entrepreneurship, business ownership all comes into play. Curtis Blow, one of the first MCs, definitely put the leather suits on, did the leather suit thing. Um, Established themselves, you know, because the style is very important in hip hop, and this is where you know things take off. So the first style, you know, you wanted to, you know, for the hustlers in the street, they wanted to look like businessmen at one point. Businessmen, little flashy. You'll have like a little bit of gold, but nothing too. Here's a big word now: ostentatious, ostentatious, and definitely keep it well kept. You know what I'm saying? And you know you might have some silk slacks, some Playboys or some British Knights, or some Wallaby Clarks, or just the regular Clarks. You might have like a nice silk shirt, blazer to match. You know, a Stetson hat on the side. Stetson's was a whole hat store in 42nd Street. Well, around that 7th Avenue, 42nd Street area. You know, my lover hats, of course. Salute to that. Um, is where you would get the fedoras and you know the what they call the mob hats. You know what I'm saying? Good derbies and you know you bust them down and stuff like that. This was the stylish wares of hustlers and people that you know basically were coming out of that club scene as well. You know, and we were coming out of the '70s where they had the high waisted pants. Fashion plays a very important part of the hip hop entrepreneurship going forward. You know what I'm saying? And you start to get into your Puff Daddies, Jay Z's, you know, spinning off what Dapper Dan done. Boom. But early on, you didn't get that. There was no endorsement deals for Kumo D to wear leather jackets. You know, and it changed from that business casual stuff to more streetwear, right? Because you know, 8 out of 10 times you're gonna run into these guys and they're on the block. You know what I'm saying? So you would see the old funk entertainment photos of Grandmaster Fast and the Furious Five where they was wearing some risque stuff. You know, salute to that. Same way you would see Parliament Funkadelic, Isley Brothers, Ohio Players. They were wearing stuff to entertain the crowds. You're not gonna walk outside with a sequins jacket and speedos on. It's just not gonna go. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna work. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, don't do that. You know, with a fur tail hanging out your head. Nah. But on stage, it just looks crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on, and you know, it's all about keeping your eyes on the entertainer. But off the street, in the streets, you know, sheepskin clothes. They call it dungarees. It's jeans, but then they'll have like the crease, the permanent crease in it, the permanent crease in the jeans. You know what I'm saying? Mock neck shirt. You know, Cazale glasses. Some type of heavy frames. You know, you might have your initial chain on. You know, and again, just like this is what it was. You know what I'm saying? You know, I have short shorts and a polo shirt to go with it, and I don't mean polo the label, which is another entity that got it would have did well on its own, but with the positioning of hip hop and the people that went with it, the culture that went with it, really boosted it up, and I do mean boosting it up. Shouts to them double L's out there. Shouts to them. There you go. Come on, clap it out. Them double L's out there, and them purple robots out there. They doing their thing. You know what I mean? Really boosted that label up to be, um, I would say, city accepted. I would say urban, you know, because they changed the label to from streetwear to urban wear and stuff like that to make it sound cool, give it edge. A lot of people sucked up some money from the edge. You know, Kumo D wasn't one of them. LL wore the infamous Kangos. The Kangos is like a beautiful, just a tool, and he saw it from his neighborhood, South Jamaica, Queens. And older dudes would rock the Kangos with the Pumas, preferably suede. You brushed them all night. You had the fat laces in them. You know what I'm saying? Coordinating with your BVDs. Shout out to the BVDs. If I could get a pair of BVDs, man, come on, man. BVD, where you at? You had those on, you're feeling fresh, you're feeling fly, you know what I'm saying? You brushed the waves in, you know what I'm saying? There was really not too many people with locks at that time. It was mostly braids, corn braids, and nothing too fancy, and cornrows, and just cooling, you know what I mean? And even if you had to go to work, you got the Playboys on, your British Knights, or your British Walkers, actually, not British Knights, British Walkers. Salute to the British Walkers. Held the brother down. Playboys, actually. This goes into a line that was from Baby Boy. When Jody, for those that know the movie, looked at P and said, "Yo, P, I count about 7 millionaires on you." He's like, "What?" All in the clothes. 7 millionaires. Everything that you wearing. We stand here broke and nothing but business is going on. And that was the beginning of hip hop. There was nothing but business going on. I hope my feed is going right. The anxiety of it is just crazy. And everything is moving fine as far as what it looked like. I just want to make sure. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Set an error. Well, I'm still recording, which is good. I just uploaded. Now, the first deal comes with Run DMC, but there's also talks about, I don't know if anybody knows, DJ Divine out of South Jamaica, Queens. Salute, give him his flowers now. If you ever seen the documentary Ron Lawrence put out, The Founders, about the beginning stages of what we call hip hop, DJ Divine in the Infinity Machine with Goody and Kendu definitely, was one of those foundation sets that played some great hip hop. What we called hip hop, straight up from the dance music of that time, talking about soul, R&B, funk, and disco, and of course doing the blends and stuff like that early on, super early on, and did a small commercial for VIM. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Just like with Run DMC, when they announced Adidas and became the flagship brand to promote and market Adidas, you know what I'm saying? Which we didn't know back in the days that Adidas and Pumas, these people were brothers actually. Brothers from Germany at that. It gets deeper. There's a rabbit hole there, but I'm not going there. No way, not now. Okay, easy. The Adidas, it was a street culture at first, and Run DMC went from the transition of the leather, just the thing that I was talking about, into saying, well, we're gonna wear what we see in our neighborhood, because we're talking about things that we see in our neighborhood now, and the trajectory changed just automatically. Boom. The mob hat again. The leather suit, because Run was actually what they would say that the son of Curtis Blow in a way, and not to say son like he was like lower than him or something like that, but the son of Curtis Blow, being the next one up for the crown, and they adopted that, and the Adidas with no laces, right? Because here's the thing: the no laces came about because jail culture. Jail culture, yeah. No belt, no laces. Why? Because they were ligature risk, for those that know. And, you can't have anybody that may have suicidal thoughts, or you can't use them as a weapon. You can use them as a weapon if they're available. So the thing that they do would take the strings out your sneakers, take the strings and the laces, the belt over your waist. Now with that in position, the rumor is somebody came home like that, but the flavor was so fly with it, that, people it stuck, and people wind up, doing that. They brush the make sure you got to brush the area out. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it's super clean. You got the fresh white with the black joints. So if you was nice, you got the white with the green, or, whatever color. The shell toes preferably, and just let the laces hang out so people see that. And you let it hang out on the outside of your pants if you got pants on, or if you got shorts on, it just hanging out like that. You know what I mean? With the Pumas, you usually do the fat laces and a couple of other sneakers as well. But those two right there were the back and forth for the spring summer. Different colors, you're mixing, you're matching. Nike, Run DMC and Adidas together like peanut butter and jelly. To this day, Adidas made last year $10.77 billion. Well, maybe I don't think you heard me. I don't think you hear me. I don't think you hear me, man. I don't think you hear me, man. $10.77 billion. Now, I want you to think in your mind, could they have done that without hip hop culture? Just think about it. Just really think about it. Really put that make that be a P in your brain. When I say a P, like, a split P in your brain. Could they have done that without the presence of hip hop in the life of promoting Adidas? And this also goes to show the power of the consumer as well, because we're the ones that basically co-sign the fly. We either come up with it creatively or we co-sign it for ourselves. Co-sign the fly. Real stuff. Their deal at that time was for $1.6 million. $1.6 million. Oh.
Damn, son.
Come on, man. No way. But no, I digress. It was a win at that time. It was a whole win. You know what I mean? In hindsight, we're going to see how this kind of messes everything up. But it was a win. It was a win. 1.6 million, nobody thought about that. But not even Run DMC thought of that. See, one thing about this show business, some people that are creative are into the show. And then there's people that look at the show, try to figure out the business. And whoever's more astute in the business runs the show. Can you follow me out there? Can you hear me? Is this thing on? Okay. Show business. The creators are mostly in depth with the show, the power, the influence, the creativity. Then there's people that watch the show and figure out the business. The politics of it. What can be marketed? What can be built off of it? The trajectory of the project. Can it be multiple projects like this? And if not checked, the business will run the show. So 1.6 million, those look good right there at that time. It can go it could go in 5 years. Reckless spending is gone. It's gone. It's already out there. So it's out of here. But the cosign is familiar. The cosign is forever. And this is why people would be great. And they even what is it? They you know how they like remaster, they revisited, you know, anniversary with Run DMC. I didn't see the numbers on that deal, but I definitely would say, where's the generational wealth? Where's the generational wealth? You know what I'm saying? Of that relationship. Don't just give people enough to, you know, cut slices of bread. Give them the oven to bake the bread. You know what I mean? DMC, he is a good advocate for foster children and some abandoned youth. He is in the activity of making sure that these children find a nice home because of his experience and everything that he went through, and also some of his you know, some of his close loved ones. He's also a mentor and dedicated to the cause. You know what I'm saying? To steer young people right. There should be no reason why he should be able to snap his fingers and several community centers pop up in the name of DMC, foster children. That should be a no-brainer. Sponsored by Adidas. Sorry, not sorry. Where's my shot? Sorry, not sorry. One more. Two more for Cam taking over the. No, he didn't take over the ride. I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there with you. But yeah, man, that's insane. Run was able to diversify his portfolio. You know, I love it. Salute the Wu-Tang. He was able to diversify his style, come out as a reverend, you know, change his life, of course, make different moves, do the TV thing. But even him, he should be able to snap his fingers. Boom. A clothing line appears. Boom. A new church appears. Sponsored by Adidas. They got $10.77 billion. Yeah, I'm pocket watching. I'm pocket watching. Salute to JT Pocket Watch. I'll be watching him sometimes. Great content creator. Right? So we move on. At the same time, around that time, Kumo D came out with one of the first sponsorships. And this is, let me move this this picture right here, because here you see, if you look at the screen on the run back, Rakim with the bunch of gold chains, Mercedes Benz symbology is like the jewel of hip hop. And we're gonna go through this too, with the jewelry. I basically was setting everything up. We went from the originations, parties, and from the more party scenes to the concert scene, from the concert scene to the regional areas, from the regional areas to what afflicted us in violence in hip hop, from the violence to stop the violence, to the drug culture, the beginning, and the drug abuse, unfortunately, and then now we're into the luxury, because we see how the lines start to cross into each other, and now we're up to the luxury area, and not just to say, you know, that we made it. Shouts to Soulja Boy and Drake. We made it. We did though. Hip hop turns 50 this year. But to say now that people have this, you know, this mass amount of wealth, yet the hood is still kind of starving, man. Still kind of starving. Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Where you at? Come on, bruh. The hood is still starving.
Come on, man.
Gotta get better than this. Gotta get better than this. You know, because the cars, and if you follow what Jay-Z says at times, salute to Jay-Z. Book a Hove right now, then turned the whole museum, you know, to a rhyme pad out here. He basically saying it, man. Like he basically was telling you, like, don't think of that small money. I'm charging double for what they did to the Cold Crush. That's a real lyric right there. That's real, man. So symbology, gold chains, ice down medallions is coming up soon. Salute to Mechalopolis. Salute to Valtown. Um, Gully TV. I know he was up with the truck jury thesis and stuff like that. We're gonna tour through that. You know what made that part of hip hop culture when it was first street culture, and this is what the transition of people that went from rhyming in the hood to rhyming about the hood to actually being from the hood and rhyming, and then the lines get blurred where I'm not a rapper, I'm a hustler. Oh man, then it goes right back to what we was talking about. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. That's Run DMC. Again with the street culture, the tracksuits. Well, this is it's also the street culture was emulating other street styles as well. And not to say that everybody bites from each other. It's a part of the collective. No, sometimes you don't even know you actually biting, but you just want to do a flyer. I get it. Tracksuits, something like Italian Mars would do. They had the expendable income to do this, and then a person of the street culture get a line. They want to do something different and extravagant as well. So tracksuits, velour suits, that's that. Adidas, boom, they got put on. And they showed out. Look at Jam. Rest in peace, Jam Master Jay. One of the flyers. Rest in peace. One of the flyers. Oh man, from the ring to the watch to the chain. Yo, the chain with the shoe on it. Yo, we're gonna do this, y'all. This is gonna be crazy. Adidas pendants out this piece. Shining, man. Listen, and it just iconic right there. Iconic. You might throw in a black Kango, white Kango, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you know what I mean, or the mob hat. They might do the mob hat thing. Incredible. Because but only 1.6 million. Imagine, and this went with a couple of basketball artists, basketball players as well. They were approached with a major deal, and percentage was mentioned. Or would you rather take 1%, for 50 years or stuff like that? Let's say that. And they turned down that, but that 1% out of $1 billion, come on. For every year, 1%, come on, man. Come on.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
We didn't see the big picture at that time because it was all about what we can do right now. You didn't see the bigger picture of the 10 billion because of what we could do right now with the 1 million. You know what I'm saying? The 1 million felt like $500 million. But damn it, it wasn't. No way. And the children's children get to go to college off of the fly style of these guys right here. Hip hopreneurs, thinking outside the box of what we do here. British Knights approached Mo D about using the single How You Like Me Now for an ad campaign. Why? Because Mo D wore the BK joints, the suit, the track suit with the British Knights to be fly, step to the side of what everybody else was doing, so it's original at the same time. He's from the Wild Wild West, uptown, 129th. Salute to that all day. Special Harlem stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like Harlem special vibe. And knowledge of self all day. Kumo D. Oh man. It's a legend. He's a legend. He's a legend. They should do more on him. Actually, I want to do a whole Heavy D show. Salute to Pete Rock on that. I wore British Knights gear on the How You Like Me Now album cover. Kumo D, remember it? I wasn't wearing it to get a deal or anything. Oh, God. Man. Off the arm. But that's the love of the culture. I can't knock them for that. You can't knock them for that. But these people don't care about your love for the culture. Who owns British Knights? Who owns British Knights? You can Google it right now. Yeah, do your little thing, 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 yeah, all that. Do the little thing, 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 thing. Do it. British Knights is owned by a person by the name of Jack Schwartz, who you're going to see a little later actually owns something else, where it it bounced off the hip hop culture. See, when we talk about, and I'm not going to bring that up. I'm not going to bring that up. Not now. Not now. Not now. We're going to talk about that during hip hop fashion. Right? Coming up soon. When we talk about the people that watch the styles and watch the culture and look at the show, they're peeping out ways for the business. British Knights wasn't British Walkers. But we accepted the flyness of it, because, we make things fly. We're the kingmakers. And when I say that, just the B-boy and the B-girl putting things a certain way, doing a certain style, and be like, yeah, boom, this is what's fly right now. That's why it's called hip-hop. Hip being aware was the signs of the times are, hop is the activity. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing my hat a certain way. Right, it's the LRG joint. I salute the LRG. I love that work. You know what I'm saying? Black and Asian group, great stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's black owned. Lil King has no fear. Salute to my man Ray God. The tree, ecology, ecologically inclined. You know what I'm saying? Ecologically. You know what I'm saying? With the purpose, I'm wearing it like Paddington Bear. For those that are of age and know who Paddington Bear was, it was this bear that had the rain jacket on, and he had this big hat, and he wear it in the front like this. It's the Paddington. But that's hip hop style, to bring something out of the childlike, flavors and stuff like that, and creep it upon the masses and make it different, make it clever. So anybody that wore a bucket hat, because that's what this essentially is, boom. Bucket hats were more promoted by a group like EPMD. Always, they call it the fisherman hat. Funny thing is I had the vest on to go with the hat, and they was like, "Oh, you going fishing?" No, this is just the flyness of the style. Salute me. Salute me, baby. Don't come on now. Right here? This right here? But he did it for the love of the culture, the love of, how things was rocking. And, they wanted to approach him with a ad campaign. But did they approach him with a deal that would have been paying him to this day? And two, I think Mo D is savvy enough to take it. So they pulled back. So we think we're going to get this Negro for $300,000. He ain't going for it. He ain't going for it. Right, yeah. You dig? Ain't going for it. Ain't going to happen. So nah, that's for the culture. All right, chalk it up to the game. Jack Schwartz appears again. Now, at this time, we're going through the phases of the 80s and 90s. We're starting to see different groups pop in and out, producing great material, and their influence on the culture is strictly fashion level and It wasn't even about jewelry. Only certain people wore jewelry like that. You had Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, um, Run DMC, LL, Slick Rick, of course. Slick Rick, you better stop playing. You better stop playing. Slick Rick. When he starts to put the chains on you, it's for a reason. It's crowning you. It's crowning you. Dougie Fresh. Oh, salute to Dougie Fresh. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this like this. I'm sorry. A host of others, but more importantly, it was like, just keep it calm and, dress rugged, of course. I might have a couple of black medallions on, because we also had our heavy consciousness out there still. And even those artists were conscious as well. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to lean on me. That's why you got racism. And Biz Markie had the heaviest change as well. That's just a celebration of our culture to say, yeah, we gotta lose something from it. You know what I'm saying? So here and there you would get it, and like I mentioned, EPMD, there's Eric Sherman right here on the screen if you get to see it. There's a campaign called Lugs. Lugs, boots, and fashion. Oh, Lugs. Not too many people was buying Lugs in the hood, I'm sorry. I mean, it was here, it was there. I'm not going to trip on Lugs too much, British Knights even was like, they tried to break out, but people started copying stuff like New Balance, Diodoras, Asics, Spot Built. Salute the Spot Built. I love the Spot Built strength. All type of Nikes, from the Deltas to the Blazers to the Dunks to the Bo Jacksons. We just in it, getting real jiggy with it. Jiggy, oh my God. That's a loser. We're not saying jiggy. They're really fresh with it. Even other like tennis sneakers, like Head, got a lot of women and some guys with the Tree Torn, Benetton, Stan Smiths. So, fashion was there, but who was giving deals? Who had their own businesses? Hip Hopreneurs, where it's outside of the musical cycles and now more into product based and promotion wise, providing a service. Not too much of that was going on. Lugs. Who else had Lugs? Birdman had Lugs. Shouts out to Birdman. What happened to that ball? What happened to that ball? With the talking crap to he put a cop into that ball. Birdman was able to buy a $3 million mansion off of Lugs. I don't know how. I don't know how. People down south, y'all buying Lugs like that? Y'all buying Lugs like that? Up north, it was Lug boots. You know what I'm saying? But people was already into the Timbs. Timbs had it locked. You see? Because of the pace of the culture. Before Timberlands, there was like North Lakes and steel toe boots, the combat boots. When people say your mom was wearing combat boots, yeah, it was right. She was wearing combat boots. It's cold out there. I'm sorry. Yeah. But, this was the thing. Timberland became a thing also because of the quality of the boot. There was a time where, you can actually send your Timberlands back. And there's a few other boots, cobblers that do that as well. I rock with Solos. And Vast. I rock with Vast. Vast, you can send them back and get them resold. You know what I'm saying? Any bad stitch and they get them restitched. Because their mantra, well, not their mantra, but their mission statement is for quality material and make sure things go for almost a lifetime. That's just the way it is. Then, HEGs come later in the game, like mid-90s and up, right? But we're sticking with the Timbs, Tim Tree, Boot Camp Click. Salutes and shout to them, yo. Salutes and shout to them. Yeah, I'm giving people their flowers right there, man. Yeah, man. Boot Camp Click. This group helped fortify the Army Navy stores in the hood. Army Navy stores was mostly a mom and pop shopping experience. You know, you can't go to Macy's and like, yo, I want fatigue pants. You wildin'. It's not gonna happen. It's just not there. So, you know, you go to the Army, Navy store, you know, throw 200 down, you're coming out with a vest, the army jacket, you know what I'm saying, with the army jacket line, there's some Uzi on the Allen, and my army jacket line, and you got the khakis on you know, and then you got some Tim boots. Maybe even nice, you got a Tim hat, sweatshirt, boom. You got ski jackets that came off, the Columbias, everything with the different fruity colors. And of course, you got the Ralph. Clap it up, the Ralph. Where you at? Clap it up, Ralph. I don't know Eric Sherman's deal with lugs, but you know, it was for a good amount of time, and you know, Eric is one of those solid producers, down to earth brother. He'll put, you know, some of the good quality people on. You know, you know, some say he was eccentric, you know, but he knows his stuff. He knows his worth, and I believe he got a good deal out of that. But I don't know the significance of it to say yay or nay. Does he have any lifelong benefits of it? Same thing with Birdman. You know, Birdman, he usually works out a deal and closes for a super amount of money, and then, you know, basically ciphers it off from there, spins off and does something else like GTV, liquor, or, you know what I'm saying, you know, basically management stuff and stuff like that. So very astute businessmen, hip hopreneurs. That's my first hour so far. Let's go into this because I mentioned the lows twice. It's only right that we go into one of their flyest, I would say, ambassadors. This man should get a check. This man should get a check, a lifelong check for putting low out there international ways.
I had a real interesting conversation with Nelly,
Thurston Howard,
and he was like when I lived in New York, I understood.
Hold on, Queen Light.
I had a real interesting conversation.
Keep game on this. Right back.
I learned so much from
Be right here listening to you.
Crime laws, none of the stop someone from holding shit down on their own, your choice. Crime laws, none of the stop someone from holding shit down on their own, your choice. Crimes are paying them.
As we go through this, because it's commentary right now, you know what I'm saying? And appreciate it. You know, what they call it fair use is fair use. Let me put the disclaimer out there for the. We're going to go back to this, all right? This is primarily a hip-hop show to promote the contributions of the artists and the hard workers, the producers, and great minds pushing creativity in the culture and allowing expression to touch the people. We do not get paid, you know. Donation is good, though. You know, you see that in the damn in the description and on the screen. One of the screens, all right. Cash App. Anyway, this is for the promotion of the artists with respect to their intellectual property. Again, we do not get paid. This is for the promotion of the artists in respect to their intellectual property. Let the music live on the block. Okay, we got that.
I had a real interesting conversation with Nelly, and
here we go.
I learned so much from him. It's impossible.
Crime laws, none of the stop someone from holding shit down on their own, your choice. Crime laws, none of the stop someone from holding shit down on their own, your choice. Crimes are paying them. So
colors. I want you to see the quality low, and then what's really nice is that he sprinkled his own fashion into it. He sprinkled it in there. That's the low. You see, Love and Loyalty. That's him. That's the hip hoppreneur. He's also known as Jail Kitchen. Yo, I love the Jail Kitchen. Check out
Greedy, great sunny views, motherfuckers wanna smother the way that the money moves. Glass castle, casual capo, fizz a gin, pack of camels, turkey necks, stuffed pork sausages, worthy vests, guns, four corners. Survived the knife attempts all my life, from the field to the heights. Best I lights, the train in New York like the movie Warriors. Crime committed, it was usually all of us. Crack a safe like I missed the spot. Use my ears to pick the locks, ladies ask.
Umbrella game itself could take you out the freaking umbrella game itself. Stop playing.
Why my clothes so fresh? For the time that I don't own shit, bust a shot in the air just to keep me focused. No sharks, sneak thief horses, platinum packs in my grandma's closet, stolen wallets and stolen progress.
Crime laws, cause it stops someone from holding shit down on their own, your choice. Crime laws, cause it stops someone from holding shit.
If anybody needs to get a sponsorship, that generational money, you know what I'm saying, that's coming in, flowing in. You talking about who should walk the runway with low on? This man right here. Him, you already seen Tyson Beckford do it insanely. You know what I'm saying? But Tyson Beckford did it with the more collegiate, laid back academic style, more also into the purple label, you know, I would say casual to luxury. This right here is that gut, it's gutter clean, divine, moving, you know what I'm saying? Just moving athletically. And he matches everything up with the color coordination. Yo, do this and go ahead.
Down on their own, your choice. Crime laws, nothing stops someone from holding shit down on their own, your choice. Crime laws, nothing stops someone from holding shit down on their own, your
My style is like Red Man in Espanol, Lemon Pison to set the tone. In the crib with a spliff, getting section blown. Big tit bitch, your neck was gone. Crime law, discipline, divine force.
The ski man is crazy in the hood. Stop playing with it. Stop playing with it. The ski man is crazy.
It's long, like a foot size 4. That's the life of the world we live in. Snake bites, life's dirty pigeons. I really live in the spirit of lyrics spitting. Prepare the lyric, considered profess winning. Dungeon dragon, basement fire. Voodoo blessing, sacred asylum. Jungle gym in the motherfucking snow. Blood is spilled, you motherfucking know. My dress code like a race car driver with a bunch of potheads trying to take my life. God forgive me, once in too many. Move mountains started with 2 pennies. Gorilla grip on brand new duct tape. My nigga got knocked in, transferred upstate.
crime laws, cause it stops someone from holding shit down on their own, your choice. Crime laws, cause it stops someone from holding shit down on their own, your choice. Crime laws, cause it stops someone from holding shit down on their own, your choice. Crime laws, cause it stops someone from holding shit down on their own, your choice.
My name is Sticky Fingers, and I'm an addict. I'm addicted to sticking niggas up. I gotta have it.
And Loyalty Umbrella. Done by Thurston Howell III. Get busy.
See a thing, I gotta grab it. I'm like David when I do straight magic. I can't help myself if the mother shop it. How this shit get in my pocket? Nigga withdraw, I gotta make a deposit. Keep the change, $1, no nonsense. Tell you go.
Got to go to the.
If you're not serious about this music shit, stop.
Yeah, switch it over right there. Continue our talk. Walk with me. And flip it. Bam. Okay. Eric Sermon and Birdman hit the Lugs. Lugs is owned by Jack Schwartz, who also owns British Knights. Not British Walkers, British Knights. Didn't hear them get that generational money. I don't want to go into how much Jack Schwartz owns or net worth and nothing like that. That's something that you should follow up on. But yeah, the promotion of the culture, people watching, get their business, you know, get their business in and then run amok. You haven't seen any big contributions in your neighborhood yet, right? Maybe a HBCU, huh? Maybe an up and coming, LRG is kind of solidified. up and coming like B Gold New York, right? Like the Marathon from Nipsey. Well, thing with Nipsey and Rest in Soul, definitely Rest in Soul. Nipsey Hussle give him, always get love here. The marathon continues. The fact that he was able to break the glass ceiling of what the West Coast, and this is not to dismiss Snoop. Snoop is a hip hoppreneur as well. Don't get it all the way twisted. Shouts to the 19 Crimes and his personal label on a couple of different wines. His many exploits into different income vehicles, and just being the face of certain things, makes Snoop that power player in the industry. One that I thought that would really be out there like that as well was The Game. I would say there are times where he self-sabotaged, because Black Wall Street is a hell of a movement to me. I don't care what it was he was thinking. If he had more of a business mind and was a little more diplomatic in his dealings, and definitely more, it just, everybody, there's some people that it's just not there for him right at the moment. It takes a level of maturity to get from, one side of the game to the next. You know what I'm saying? Not to say he doesn't possess it, but there's times where he fell short when he shouldn't have. Black Wall Street could have been a movement as big as the row. As big, I knew, because he had the East Coast connection. He had the flavor of the East Coast, and with still that, he had the seasoning of the East Coast with that flavor of the West. You know what I'm saying? So it would have worked, but fortunately, bad relationships or relationships become sour, bridges get burned, and then, people lose the incentive to talk and even work things out a certain way, just enough to keep you at a distance, because he also had a thing with 310 Motoring that was a shoe company, black owned shoe company, could have really did some work with that. But that's another thing with the consumer. Chances are we'll go to a label or an imprint or an entity that we know more than the other, even though the other might have, even sometimes better quality. Well, sometimes more of the consumer's interest at heart. And that's even up to this day. So we're going to do a part 2 to this, especially when it goes into the hip hop fashion. So boom. This is how we used to dress back in the days, if you see it, fit jeans. This is one brother with the kufi on. No labels are showing. Not a lot of, no ice. Not a lot of gold on. These guys are fly. These guys are fly. Clap it up for them. These guys are fly. Simple. These are people's uncles right here. Salute to these brothers. This is what it was about. It didn't care what you had on your back. It was what you had in your heart. This is what you was able to come amongst us, or the character that you have. The business of hip hop started with the love of your people. And I just mean the people that at the cipher, the people that were able to contribute. It didn't matter what color you was, as long as you had a sincere intention to be here. That is the quality of true hip hop spirit. That is the quality. That could unite the world right there. Because I have some people of the Japanese culture that are very good, very sound, very honorable to the hip hop culture, and don't try to be something other than self. They just come and add on and appreciate. And then they be creative in their own world. Oh, I got it. I could do it like this. Oh, word, that's fly. That's fly. Koreans. I got a couple of Korean cats. Same way. Definitely Puerto Rican cats. They right there. every other culture, in our culture, sometimes we'll take certain things for granted. I mean, with our people, sometimes we'll take certain things in the culture for granted because you think you're going to automatically do it and be fly with it. Not all the time. You're kind of missing, and chances are, yeah. What? Yeah, you're wilding. You're not that good. But as long as you got a sincere heart, you can come into the cipher, and we'll see what you got. Yeah, and still keep the love flowing. That's true culture of hip hop. And here we are to boom. This is where we are right now, and it's a beautiful day. I want to show you a couple of other things because you got like Jamal Lindsay, I believe that's the brother's name, out in Florida, that makes rap snacks, which is like potato chip styles. I seen a Cardi B chip. I seen the Migos chip. The Migos chip was a little dab of ranch because of that right there. Little Dirk. I just seen the Little Dirk. I had Little Dab of Ranch, which was pretty good, but I stopped eating chips for a minute. Biggie got the chips too. I think it's like a cheddar type of thing. And I just saw a Little Dirk. This right here, Bun B. Salute to Bun B all day. Give him his flowers while he's here. Long live the Pimp C, UGK for life. I used to listen to these guys. You know, the only guy in Brooklyn. I don't say the only guy in Brooklyn, but I would listen to them like crazy. Tell me something good, yeah. Use me up, yeah. Pocket full of stones, yeah, that's me. So he came out with the Trill Burgers, and first it was like a test he was doing, you know, to see he got the right recipe, got the right level of smash burger that he wanted, the quality of the product. You know, how he wanted to build it, what rolls. You know, he tested it out, went to a couple of events, got good response of it, and boom, slowly built up. Then you started to hear about it. Then next thing you know, he pops up in Coachella, and, you know, you start to see the on-site responses to the actual merchandise. That's hip-hoppreneurship. He's not having to rap at you, you know what I'm saying? Mind you, he was running for I think it was a councilman in Houston. So you're talking about a man that was talking about Woodwill and the levels of pimposity he was going. I'm still working the wheel, pimp, 90 cents, higher than the Goodyear blimp. Ate so much shrimp, I got iodine poison. Shouts to Pimp C. Oh my God. Take that monkey, you embarrassing us. Bun B is just a phenomenal MC altogether, and he could have kept with that same. And he doesn't keep with the same style. That's what's really intriguing about it. Every other project, you come out with something even more quality, more capable, you know, of pushing the envelope to be one of those elite MCs, and that's why I definitely put him when they had that 1 to 50 thing. I wasn't going to get into that conversation. I still might not. I don't know. But I would mention, like, they ain't mentioned Smith & Wesson. They ain't mentioned Dog Pound. I didn't see that. They had UGK at a certain level, but even MOP should have been higher up. You crazy. You're talking about the wrong one, man. You got me twisted. This one. All the way twisted. Above the law. Y'all playing around with me. Fake. Who's your A&R? A mountain climber who plays like electric guitar. Shouts to Wu. But even Wu-Tang. We mentioned earlier about Boot Camp Clip. Shouts to Drew High and Buckshot. They were able to turn that imprint into a long-lasting, one of the longest-lasting labels out. You know what I'm saying? Right now, they survived. They're about to come out with something like a couple of weeks. Salute to Tech and Steel, Rock and Ruck. You know, rest in peace, Ruck. Salute to Rock Nest Monster, OGC, Original Gun Clappers, Louisville, freaking Strang Wonder, Top Dog. Come on, man. They out here. And they older gentlemen. They got families and their families starting to rhyme. That's the generational wealth of hip hop. Still moving. Duck Down Records. Shout to Shucky Ducky, Dan the Man. I mean, I remember you, Dan. He's my man. I don't know if you still remember me. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But they kept the wealth running. They kept the imprint running. They would put in other people. You know what I'm saying? And everybody eats. But you don't get to hear that. You don't get to hear that often in the airwaves, wherever your location is. It's like you got to go to it now. So in order to be, you can't say there's nothing good on. You can't say that. That's an excuse. You'll find the stuff that's not good, but you won't put it in your little thread for TikTok. You won't put something solid and quick on your little story. This is when you start to promote. You know what I'm saying? And what takes like a minute, right? Just a minute. So salute to Duck Down always. They was able to keep the imprint running. They got supreme merchandise, very high quality stuff. Salute to the Inshallah, where Islamic fused street culture, heavily promoted by Smith & Wesson, Tech and Steel. Just wonderful Sean Price material and work on the website for Duck Down. You go there, you're representing a state. You buy the work and it represents in the state. Hip Hopreneurs. You think about the work that Jay-Z has done. He's able to solidify his space with the sale of Rockaware. Looking at Rockaware, they were able to look at imprints like what Sean John did. Then he switched from street culture into the more luxury and what they call couture, the high culture stuff. Some people try to follow, salute the Buster. That Bushi, I don't know. The Bushi was for you, bro. The salute, Buster's a legend. Stop playing. You know what I'm saying? But but you as long as you try, it got to the point where as long as you try, of course the market gets saturated, and they're gonna get saturated by people that's not even in the culture but wants to sell everything in the culture. Then you got people that's from the hip hop world that want to dress like it's rock and roll. Where that come in? It's just like, yo. And then now you got people on the street looking like rockers. The fashion thing is gonna be something crazy. Trust me on this one. I'm gonna take you from 0 to 100 real quick. But hip hopreneurs, something outside of the box. Never seen this coming. Bun B with Trill Burgers once again. And all the food reviewers so far say it's good. I just don't eat meat like that. I don't eat beef. But salute to that. He also has he has the brick and mortar now, and it's right at that same spot he's standing in. Nice big got food line going on, and it's in Houston. Check it out if you can. I think it was the Southwest side. Check it out if you can. Here's another dude. Oh man, salute and praises due to this man, Styles P of the LOX, of the Locks. He was able to, him and his wife, he's definitely health conscious. I think after he did his sit down for a minute, he came back out, got rougher than ever, did several mixtapes. Of course they did their LOX albums, were able to do lots of feature work. He just showed up in the studio, you're doing a feature with Styles P, like, hey, okay, what the hell? And he's bombing it, you know what I'm saying? Styles P is one of those artists who can basically deal with anyone. Kind of like Nori, Pharoah Monch, there's a few others. But you could find Styles with a conscious rapper, quote unquote drill rapper, and one of those supreme elite lyricists at the same time. He's that selfless You know what I'm saying? But he will smash on that ass. Stop playing with Styles. He gets one of those. He and his lovely wife was able to develop this health conscious movement. You know, he do the bartenders thing as well. I think he still does that. But he was able to move the movement to health conscious smoothies and juices called Juices for Life. Also small meals up in the Bronx and I think in Harlem, I believe. And of course, his native Yonkers. So, you know, protect this man, of course. This guy is just amazing. You know, Styles P of the LOX. Salute to Jadakiss. You know, definitely salute to Sheik. Definitely don't sleep on Sheik. He's the invisible bully like the Gooch. You know what I'm saying? You know, and very astute as well. I would love to see, you know, Sheik just like boom, break out and, you know, do something outside the box. Let him find his way. Kiss shows a different route. He started working with his father and his son. So you have a 3-generation business. Come on, man. 3-generation business. The Kiss Coffee. For you coffee heads out there, Kiss Coffee, grind by selected beans in a select process, a blend that definitely, you know, fits the Jadakiss flow pattern, you know, and just the marvelous Ignatius exclusiveness of Jadakiss. Salute to that. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Ignatius. You know, I know. I'm being respectful. Of course, we mentioned Diddy, but he goes without saying, and this is where the liquor comes in as the leverage. The liquor, of course, the business deals, just mogul talk. So we've come from the $1 million deal with Run DMC and people thinking that hip hop was going to be a fad. Get what you can, take it and run. Then you get the people that look from the outside in to see what the show is like, what businesses they can develop off of it, how they can get $1. They take it, they flip it, they run it, and they let their cousins and their sons and their distant relatives get the piece of the pie, but not the people that they got the ideas from. So you see the savagery and the piracy of the styling and the business ethics in the work. How my man Pete Knight say it? You get a box of Newports and Puma sweats. Damn. Goodness gracious. Can we say that? Get a box of Newports and Puma sweats. Up till now, where people starting to, you know, they're figuring it out. I'm going to move like this. I'm going to create my own lane, my own deals. Not just going to rest on what this big conglomerate can give me. They're wealthy already. They're just going to give me enough money not to be wealthy with them or like them. So we're going to move like this. We're not just going to exist on one meal. We're going to exist on several plates. And that's how it should be moving. That's the move. So when I show you Thurston Howard III's video, and then he shows you the Low Lives Love and Loyalty line that he spun off of what should have been paying him from the get-go. Yeah, we know we took, you know, say we, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I wasn't no low life. I wasn't no low life. So some people took some stuff and, you know, everybody's buying it too. We in the hood, we ain't got too much. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have to share that Sunnydale juice. I'm talking about, man, we forgot about the struggle. You want to know what happened in New York and a lot of other places rap? Well, I'm not gonna say a lot. So there's some people that still repping heavy for their neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? Really good and showing a light to their neighborhoods. But when we start talking luxury talk and it's not adding up, and you wind up having to do the criminal element to try to look like you're doing something, you've missed the whole point. We forgot the struggle is still on. The struggle is still on. It's still a fight out here. You forgot. Donald Byrd. You forgot that people still relate to your pain because they're in pain and they need to hear something that's going to get them through the day. For me, it was Road to the Riches, Coogee Rap, Quick. Then it was The Ghetto, Quick, Rakim. I mean, and it's a few others as well, but those two right there just really stuck out to me. You know what I'm saying? That makes what I consider, top-notch MCing, storytelling, self-realization, awakened awareness, the whole thing. All right? But we forgot the pain. And those that reminisce about the pain and stay with it and merge it into something else, they tend to be more successful. Look at the track record that DMX, rest his soul, has done. You know what I'm saying? Playing through the pain. We would have hoped he got some more help, but he, when you're stuck where you feel there's a comfort zone, you stay in that behavior. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things we got to really, think about as we mature and turn this music from turning 50 into turning 75 and even 100. Reposition ourselves and really get to the core of what do you really want out of this? Let the youth know there's a mission statement to this and there's a goal to reach. Because now you got some compromising stuff out there from people that got a lot of money but don't have their own operations. And this is what Master P, salute to Master P, and I'm going to close it out. Master P with everything from the noodles to the cereal to the sports agency to the cell phones, the movies, No Limit Films, and the No Limit Records, and just trying to show you entrepreneurship on the highest level possible. Now, you're talking about anybody that should have been the first billionaire? Yeah, should have been P. I say, Buckshot too, definitely, but who, I'm just biased like that. But as far as product brand and, artist appreciation, looking out for artists, doing the necessary work, looking at all the paperwork, and people saying that now, oh, that's cheesy, and even the Maaan Yetis. I'm not buying no damn Maaan. I just don't like how you know what I'm saying? I just don't wear stuff. I'm sorry. I might buy a pair of Maaan Yetis, but I like Nagash. Oh, you don't know what that is? It's a small Detroit brand of people that do what they call original kinetic gear, like Ramomar. I promoted, I did a whole thing a long time ago about that. We're going to do that on the fashion show because there's people out here really making some high quality goods. Shouts to Raw King. Shouts to Against All Odds. Salute to Western Elders. You know what I'm saying? Essentials, Fear for God. Oh, man, there's tons of stuff. That's why there's no excuse not to buy black. Can I get a witness? There's no excuse. No excuse. LRG, public school. We got two people beefing right now. Both of them had a clothing line. If they would have put the clothing line together, we might have came out with something. That's what they should do. They should battle on the clothing lines. Pusha T with Play Clothes, which I loved, and Vampire Life with Jim Jones. I don't care what you think of them as him. Well, I do care about you're a snitch. I don't like you mess with little kids. Definitely don't like you. If you're an abuser, I definitely don't like you. All three of them, I definitely don't like you. Okay. with all that said, for their works outside of hip hop, if it's positive, it's a good look. And we got to appreciate that as the culture turns 50. I can tell you how old I am. I'm an old man, though. I ain't old, not yet. I'm a junior. I'm not even junior year old yet. I'm not even freshman old yet. I'm talking about weirdos. Anyway, that has been the case. I'm going to leave you with this one now. This is how hip-hop became, this is this young lady's theory, and it's actually true. And I mentioned this the last episode when I was talking about the work that DJ Kid Capri has done and how his tapes was going for $100 to $150 a pop at one point because of people in the military. And then the people on the block wanted it crazy too. You get a special Kid Capri tape, and he says your name on the tape. You ain't got no game. You got game that night. You got game that night. Stop playing. What you gonna be doing?
Just hanging around.
I'm just hanging around. So we're gonna go.
I had a real interesting conversation with Nelly, and he was like when I.
I'm saving you for something.
If you're not serious about this music shit,
let me tell you how hip-hop made its way to Germany in the early 80s. The military was a driving force behind it, or more specifically, U.S. soldiers. U.S. military had a strong presence all over the country around the same time hip-hop was born in the U.S. In cities like my hometown, Heidelberg, you would see Americans everywhere, and especially in the local club scene. Those soldiers did not only bring their records with them, but also movies such as Wild Style, Beat Street, and Style Wars, as well as the concept of hip-hop jams and parties on the military bases, where German youth would hear and experience hip-hop for the first time. As the phenomenon spread, some record stores caught on and started selling rap. And not only the music, but hip-hop culture as a whole was brought over, including DJing, b-boying, graffiti, and rap, with many Germans participating in the elements. At that time, all the rapping was done in English, and rapping in German was kind of thought of as a no-go. But the parties were always multicultural and embraced everyone who wanted to participate. The first real rap release in German can be traced back to '89, and in the beginning of the '90s, more started coming out, with a lot of them performed by Germans with an immigration background who dealt with racism and saw rap as giving them a voice. So a lot of the music coming out was political, mirroring what was happening in hip-hop in the U.S. Do you want to know how it went from that to being the #1 genre in the country?
Amazing. Amazing. Give it up. Amazing. So I go out like this. What you have right now, about to be a 50-year-old global culture that can tear the world apart or bring it together. A tool used by those that have no voice, little to no voice, but have a loud shout. And if utilized to shout as one, can change the course of reality as we see it. Amazing work can be done. And there are people out there ready to do it. There are mindsets out there ready to do it. The question is, do you have enough allegiance, know-how to adhere to the mission statement of hip-hop, which is peace, love, unity, and having fun? But you can't get peace if there's confusion. You can't have love if there's so much hatred, disdain, injustice. You can't have unity if you have deception, corruption, manipulation, degradation. And you can't have fun when you're at war with yourself. Toolmaker, son. This has been my broadcast, my story, so I'm sticking to it. Salute to you and yours as we move forward. Thanks for having me.